Salmanan, guys. So yesterday I was at touch, so I was playing a bit of touch rugby, and I was chatting to a mate of mine who was a bit frustrated. So what had happened was he was at a braai, or he hosted a braai, whatever the case is, and they wanted to get drinks. So then they got drinks via some app or whatever the case may be. So a friend of his actually used his app and his card to get these drinks. And then the drinks came, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, the friend who had bought drinks actually went crazy and bought an amount of drinks that they didn't discuss and the whole process. But he was so frustrated. And I remember I looked at him and I was like, so you didn't tell your mate that you're angry? Nobody should know better. And I was like, and then fast forward, I come back home. Day goes. And somewhere between myself and my partner, I can't remember what we're talking about, but then she had said, but sometimes I just don't want to ask for these things. Funny, you must just, I'd like them to come from you. And I woke up this morning and I'm watching some clip, some rugby clip, and I'm listening to the coaches analyze a certain player and how they are just expecting this player to, and I'm going, and all of this thing is coming together, and I'm just going, guys, the biggest reason that I've seen for breakups, for leaving a work, resigning, just the biggest frustration that I've seen is unmet expectations. Unmet expectations are the number one reason, in my opinion, why there is divorce. Unmet expectation is the number one reason why families break up, businesses shut down. Unmet expectation. Unmet expectation. What is the number one reason for unmet expectations? Uncommunicated expectations. I'm like, bro, you should have just told your guy what's fair to just order this, full stop. Don't go and order Avzoli or Hennessy XO. No. Kaselaiti Benini. Full stop. That's it. You communicate your expectations. And then once that's happened, then you guys carry on. Should he break that? That's a different conversation. But if he then moves according to what he thinks, because we don't think the same, guys, as a reasoning fun. Now, if they just make this decision and then you are grumpy, like, great, you didn't communicate that. You didn't. I was listening, and I was like thinking, hi, but Amanda, you can't expect me to read minds, though. And it goes back to, like, we get the dance. It's nice to learn someone and to anticipate their needs. I get that. I'm human. But you have to learn people with time, learn and understand them with time. We'll say, okay, when they come back from this, I have to do this. I anticipate. But again, it starts with a lot of groundwork. And a lot of the groundwork is the communication to a point where I now know. But it's a lot of groundwork. I can't just read brains. I see it with guys when they go to clubs and they're like, hey, bro, those chicks drank our alcohol and they just left. Why don't you tell them that if you drink our alcohol, then we'll drink you? Why don't you tell them? You can't say those things. Okay, well, then they moved how they thought they could move, and now you're angry. So they didn't meet your expectations. They just thought, oh my God, what generous guys. If you had said, Siswam, if we're inviting you over for drinks, please know that these are the terms and conditions of our drinks. If they say no, then sharp. Then you try the next group, and you try the next group, and you try the next group. Willing buyer, willing seller, willing buyer. Very, very simple. You have to communicate your expectations. You have to. You can't then come tomorrow because your expectations aren't met and then be angry. How are you so angry? Guys, I see this time and time again. I'm listening again to these rugby coaches, and I'm like, have you guys told this person that they need to do this, and this? Have you communicated your expectations? At work, you see people getting so angry at this colleague or this line manager, whatever. I was like, have you sent an email? Hey, friend, look, these are the challenges. On Monday, I just like you to be here at this time. On Wednesday, this time and this time. Please make sure that you get this by COP. Please. Boom. Communicate the expectation. Then if it's unmet, then we can have a separate conversation. Then when it's unmet, then we can actually make certain decisions. Then it's a different conversation, But the biggest problem that I see with people is them lacking the communication skills. I'm to blame. I'm huge. I'm very bad in communicating. I talk a lot, doesn't mean that I can communicate effectively. Now, what do I mean by that? Just because you're talking to a bird doesn't mean that you're communicating in a language that they understand. Just because you are talking to your goldfish doesn't mean that you're communicating in a language that they understand. Communication is a two-way street. So as much as you are saying what you are saying, is it being received? Is it being received? If I go and if police go and there is a very, very aggressive criminal, if they go to this very, very aggressive criminal and say, hey, Mr. Batty, just please stop doing what you're doing, that's not a language that this aggressive criminal understands. That criminal might only understand violence. That's the situation. If I'm on the rugby field and I say, hey, sorry, opponent, please may I have the ball? That's not how we communicate on the rugby field. I need to flatline him and then get the ball and then we can play. That's the communication. I've seen this time and time again. So we'll say, oh, but I communicate all the time to my partner. Are you speaking in a language that your partner understands? A lot of the time with us men and female, the man is speaking Spanish, the woman is speaking Mandarin, we're speaking over each other, no one is hearing anything, but we think because we're speaking a lot, we are communicating effectively. Guys, the mark of a person who's able to communicate effectively is based on the results. So what I said, if I'm saying, hey, can you make me coffee? And the person on the other side stands up and makes me coffee, that means my communication skills are so effective that it got my desired result, my desired goal or objective. That's how effective and efficient my communication skills are. Some people, you need to say, and because for them, that's how they receive it, they'll get up. I've seen this time and time again. Also understanding, Guti, like you did in school, you didn't just hear things once from your teacher and then boom. Oh, no, now you know everything. It's not. In relationships, guys, it's very, we need to be very cognizant of Guti. We all come from different relationships, The way that I moved with, let's say, my brother, we communicate differently. So I've learned certain things, good habits, bad habits, from speaking to him. The way that I speak to my mom, my ex, the way that we communicated with my ex, the things that she didn't do, so it's a lot of me being a whole a grouping of all these experiences. Then I get into my next place. I'm in my new relationship. In my new relationship, she has her own experiences. Maybe those guys just magically did these things and they get a coffee in bed. I don't know what the case is. So when you're going to say that to me as an example, who has never done that, you saying it once or twice, that won't change the 35 years of not doing that, So it might be, especially in the first, year, 2 years, you have to be that tripping tap. Oh, love, I'd appreciate it so much if you just make me a cup of coffee. Oh, my baby. That's constant until it becomes a habit. You have to communicate that all the time. Oh my, and then you communicate that expectation and you just keep at it like a little child. I know some people won't like to hear that, but it's the truth. With my kids, I have to say it constantly. My expectations of them, I have to talk constantly and I have to keep changing it and say it like this and say it like this. Some days I'm shouting it, some days I'm whispering it, some days I'm saying it with a hug, some days I'm writing it down. But it's constantly me communicating my expectations, so that again, when it's unmet, they also know those consequences. No, bro, these were my expectations. You didn't do that, so therefore you don't go there. Therefore you don't get that treat. Therefore, it's one of those things, but we have to communicate our expectations. We really, really do. At work, stop getting frustrated. Send that email. Look, I can't do this. These are my expectations. This is what I'm trying to get out of the space. What are your expectations of me? Where are we missing each other? What can we do better? Understand I'm human. I will miss these things. I will forget. Let's keep going. Let's communicate. But guys, I just want to let that off my chest because I was actually sitting, I was like, nah, man. We are really struggling to communicate. Guys, with your family, at work, with your partner, literally try and just find a way to, okay, how can we communicate with each other efficiently? Do I need to write these things down? Do I need to say them to you every day? I want to communicate in such a way that the things that are my expectations, you start doing them. I want to start seeing them, not you telling me, oh yes, I'll make you coffee. No. I want you to actually start doing it. So how can I communicate with you, at work? How can I communicate with my business partner? How can I communicate on the soccer field when I'm playing indoor? What do I need to say all the time? What is it that, how do I need to move? How can I communicate with you so that you can pass me the ball so that I can take these shots? What is the form of communication that makes sense to the both of us? And then therefore we can actually meet these expectations from both ends and we can have a flourishing and amazing relationship. Anyway, guys, just let me know what you think in the comments below. Share this video far and wide. Please, 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 guys. Please share the video for the algorithm. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Ngiyanibonga, man. Ngiyanibonga. I've seen the subscribers go up. I've seen the paying members go up. Bang, bang. But yeah, it's still a humbling experience, and I'm very, very grateful. I'm grateful for all the love that I got in my last video. Last week was a bit of a challenging week, but this week is going to be a phenomenal, phenomenal week. I can just sense it. Blessings coming from every side, and I know blessings in your life as well. But yeah, man, guys, have yourselves a fantastic day and a fantastic week. And Sanda.